Is pet insurance worth it, or is it just a great big con designed to take your money without actually helping your dog or cat? Hi, I'm Dr. Alex from ourpetshealth.com, where my aim is to help you and your pet live a healthier, happier life. So I was asked by a subscriber to give my take on pet insurance, which was really timely because actually in Australia, the pet insurance industry has just been awarded a Shonky Award. 86 different pet insurance policies were looked at and not a single one could be recommended. The findings were that they were riddled with exclusions that meant that payouts weren't given, and also that they were manipulating your love of your pet for financial gain without any benefit to you as the pet owner. But is this actually the whole truth? Well, there's definitely some issues with pet insurance that every dog and cat owner needs to consider when it comes to shopping for the best pet insurance for their pet. It doesn't cover routine care, so things like vaccinations, worming, flea control, parasite control, heartworm preventative medication is not covered by pet insurance. In a similar way, dentistry typically is not covered by most policies. Now, if your dog or cat has an accident, if for example they have a trauma that kind of causes a loose tooth that needs to be removed, then often that actually will be covered. But if we're talking about dental disease with the development of gingivitis, with dental abscesses, very often that won't be covered, and that does need treatment that can cost an awful lot of money. There are some policies that will cover routine dental scalings and polishing, dental cleaning, dental hygiene procedures, but there are limits to that. There are restrictions with that. Typically, they need to be done within a very short period of time from your vet recommending that should be carried out. Otherwise, a payment won't be made. Also, there are exclusions based on the breed of your animal. This is definitely more of an issue when it comes to purebred dogs, things like our brachycephalic dogs. If there are any congenital problems that they suffer from, then often they won't be covered. Also, as your dog ages, as your cat gets older, insurance premiums will go up, and they can sometimes go up to an eye-watering amount, or actually the insurance will just cancel your cover and you won't be able to get a new policy with another provider. With all this in mind, I often tell my clients that actually the pet insurance companies are trying to make money for themselves and for their shareholders. So their aim, or not necessarily their aim, but their overall goal is to not pay out, or certainly to charge more than they're going to pay out. Because on average, the average pet owner, if you take the cost of premiums compared to the amount that gets paid out by the pet insurance companies, is going to be less. So you as a pet owner are going to pay more on average with paying insurance premiums than it will cost you to pay for your pet's treatment that they need. Clearly though, that's a very simplistic take on the topic, because pet insurance absolutely can mean the difference between life and death for your dog or cat. If your cat or your dog develops a really serious medical condition, if they get in an accident, they require a complicated surgery, then those costs can climb very, very quickly. And if those treatment modalities aren't followed, if the surgery isn't carried out, if you can't give the medication that's needed and the care that's needed in the hospital for your pet, then the only other alternative is to put them to sleep, or they are going to die. So pet insurance can absolutely be the difference between life and death. And whether pet insurance is right for you and your family really depends on what your financial situation is like, how much savings you've got behind you. Are you able to afford dip into a savings pot if your pet becomes unwell, if they need a serious surgery? Because if you don't have a significant amount of money in a savings account, then pet insurance is something that you should definitely be thinking about. There are obviously alternatives to pet insurance. One big one is to actually start a savings fund for your pet. So every week, fortnight, month, whatever it is, you put in a small amount of money into an account dedicated to your pet's treatment. That way, you're going to build up a little bit of a fund should they need help in the future. Now, the problems with this is that if they get ill when they're very young, if they have an accident, if they break their leg, for example, when they're young, then that savings fund is not going to have built up to a significant enough amount of money to be able to pay for the whole cost of treatment. So you're still then going to need to borrow money from friends, pay it on credit cards, borrow money elsewhere, which is generally not the best way to access money because of high interest rates and repayments required. So is pet insurance worth it? I absolutely think it is, depending on your situation. And I see time and again where it makes a huge difference into the outcome of a dog or cat, and actually makes the difference between them being euthanized to successfully walking out that hospital door completely cured of their problem. Now, if you're shopping for pet insurance, I've got another video which I'll link on the screen now, which runs through a lot of the key factors that you need to think about when it comes to choosing the best insurance policy for your pet. But until next time, I'm Dr. Alex. This is Our Pets Health, because they're family.